I'm not going to disavow my ownership of the West because there are wonderful non-white people who want to contribute. Get over this prissy, uneasy, pathetic, dickless behavior. It is ours. I will salute and celebrate every non-white person who wants to do for the West, who wants to do for this country, who wants to become and has become a functioning part of making America great. 100% going to salute them. It is my country. Just like if I went to China and was going to support China, I would know all my days that that was the country I had adopted and was championing and was doing everything I could for, but it didn't make it any less the property of the Chinese. But in America, we have all of these effeminate and female leadership, and they're like, oh, it doesn't feel good unless you disavow it as yours. Well, you, bitch. Oh, is my language too strong? Well, then maybe politics and the survival of our people is not the place for you. Maybe that the nursery room is genetically where you're equipped to be. This is my country. The West is mine. And I proudly stand beside everybody of every race who owns it as theirs, adopted or created, and who defends it. If you are not going to own the country because of the anti-white moral imperative, and you're going to want to make these other arguments, like, you don't know where they came from. They're not talking about our victimization. This is our country. Say it! This country belongs to white people. Sometimes, I know the men of the West who are here, sometimes you look out into the world, and you must have the same experience as me, and you think to yourself, I'm the last white man. I'm the last one. There might still be white people here, but I'm the last white man. There are so few of us. This guy right here, it's not his fault that he's gelded, that he's been totally castrated. If I were his boss, he would look very different. He would sound very different right now. White males will be able to step up to the plate the moment that white people put a real man in charge. I'm getting sick. I'm really fired up. Think about in your average white family household. Just think about the average white family household. Think about maybe back when you were a kid in the household. And if mom and dad, if they're finding out the news and they're finding out that some laws were broken, some things were done that weren't exactly done to the letter of the law or letter of the code or the spirit, that the way things were supposed to be applied. If there were all of these little intricacies and everything, does mom and dad really feel like they have a dog in the fight? Does mom and dad do they shrug? They're like, this is out of my league, the wealthy and the powerful, they get to break all the laws they want, so what can I do? What if instead of talking about all this nonsense, that the news they were receiving was that this is a war on white people? They're white. And they look around at their white family, and they look around at the house that they've worked their asses off for, and the average house and the average car and the protection that they have to supply their children. You think they might think about it in a way that's a little bit more aggressive? How are we here? Similarly, if you go to mom and dad, and you tell the average white mom and dad working their ass off trying to get by in the world, and you blame another race of people, and you're like, well, all these non-whites are born into the country from all around the world because of Jays. What is the average white mom and dad going to do? They're going to think, that's pretty repulsive. And they're going to turn it off. Note how in both of the other scenarios, mom and dad are not thinking about themselves, their home, their children, their family. We are the only people who focus on that. We are the only people who morally, with love, hope, and redemption, are focused on ending our victimization. I can scream, I can shout, I feel like at times I gotta just grab the people by the lapels and shake the ever-living shit out of them. Because of how bad it is. Half of you are looking for Katie Britt to be your leader, and half of you are looking to the cemetery for leadership. I don't give a if it's not fair. No shit, you fucking child. No shit, you children. It's never been fair a day in your life. This is what it's like to be a conquered people. Stop complaining. Identify what a real leader of the West looks like. You need me to take my shirt off?